Well, a firestorm of outrage shows no signs of abating tonight after NewsNation's exclusive reporting on the new revelations about how the Biden White House handled the toxic train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. Investigative correspondent Rich McHugh was the first to get his hands on documents and emails that show the Biden administration's coordinated effort with both the CDC and the EPA to cover up concerns about health issues in the community after the derailment and subsequent toxic chemical burn. The agencies even thought about expressing their concerns to the public, but then they thought again.
There's White House officials and National Security Council officials discussing the dangers of the cancer cluster potential and the health issues, and discussing whether or not to release the unmet needs report to the public and to the media.
We're supposed to believe that's not how our country runs. And I'm starting to see that that's how our country has always run.
Rich McHugh also spoke to residents who are suing the CDC. Respiratory illness, chronic migraines, and blurred vision are becoming the norm for those who are living there. My next guest has been documenting the mishandling of the cleanup since day one. Rick Tsai is a local chiropractor who's lived in East Palestine for more than 30 years. He shared this video with us of a film and residue that is coating local creeks. He tested local water sources and found toxic chemicals like benzene and methylcyclohexane. In some cases, nearly 5 times the safe amount. Rick Tsai joins me now. So, Rick, got to get your reaction to Rich McHugh's reporting that essentially all these government agencies were saying, well, we need to track and see if there's a cancer cluster, there seems to be health issues, but they did not then share those concerns with the public like yourself.
Well, if the public wants to know some updates, East Palestine, off the rails on Facebook, that's our Facebook group. As I've always said about the creeks, when the EPA denied there were chemicals still in the creek, I said you could teach a 7-year-old with a stick to go find those chemicals when the EPA said they didn't exist. With these letters, we already knew we're living with these lies, but it's nice to see them get caught in writing. So when you dump 1 million pounds of cancer-causing chemicals in our air, water, and land, it doesn't take a master's degree or a doctorate degree to know that the danger. It's disgusting. But at least, we caught them in writing now.
Well, what do you think should happen as a result of what we've unearthed?
Well, that's an interesting question you just asked me. First of all, nothing has changed here. Although, the new election came, I know that when Robert Kennedy was here, before he signed on with Trump, he ran on the fact that he said if he wins the presidency, he's going to move the people out of here that want to move out because of the high level of contamination. Kristi Noem just recently tweeted when she heard about this report that under their administration, nothing like this would happen again. Well, we're still here and we don't see anybody. So
you still need help.
How about some action? Yes. How about some action?
First of all, why are you still there, Rick? Why is it,
we started building in the fall. When we dug the basement, it was a rainy season and it filled with water. So it's been really rainy here. They're trying to drain and pump out the basement area. We're building about 10 miles out of town. And when you think about it, for people that have lived in a place for 30 years or your whole lives, when you're uprooted from somewhere you never thought you would move, it's kind of tragic. But, I'm one of the lucky ones. I have choices, but a lot of people here don't.
Right. My point is you do have the choice, and yet you've chosen to stay, even though you're positive that the air you breathe, the water and the soil around you is contaminated with cancer-causing chemicals.
So you can still go down to the creek and dig the dry dirt out of the bank and throw it in the water, and chemicals come out. If you're asking me why we still choose to stay, as I said, we're building a new home about 10 miles away. I don't know what else to do right now.
And then there are lots of folks in town who don't have a choice, who don't have any place else to go, who can't afford to do that.
Absolutely. And that's why I'm calling on this administration to, let's prove to the whole of America and the whole of the world that we weren't just a talking point for an election. Let's get down here and do some action.
What bottom line health concerns? We've been tracking you and several other people who live in East Palestine. What are people dealing with now when it comes to their health?
So I'll just tell you about myself. I've spent probably more hours in those creeks than some of the EPA workers. I believe I have over 400 hours of filming. I've never gotten headaches in my life. I have daily headaches. My eyes don't focus well. I can go on and on, but who knows what's to come later in life. I've never gotten headaches in my life, and I live with them now.
Rick Tsai, thank you. This is unimaginable what you and the folks in East Palestine have had to endure for a long time now, and largely ignored, it feels like, by the government.
Thank you for continuing to cover the story.
We will continue to shine a light on it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.